Today we're going to talk about this.
Hey everybody, Horp here. Helorp to you. Horp, you're doing well. What's going on? It's been a minute, but I'm back with a real quick one. A real in and out, bing bang, we're done with it run, and it is Resident Evil, the missions for Java flip phones. If you want to go right to the world record run, click that little link that just popped up, and it'll take you there. But I'd like to do a little bit of context before we get in. This is another one of those just games that kind of fell under the radar over the years. So picture this. You're in the late 90s. You have a cell phone, but it is either a flip phone or a brick phone, as we called them. And they're not very powerful. All they could do is send a few text messages, take a few calls, and maybe play Snake or Tetris. That was about it. But then towards the early 2000s, the phones got a little bit more technologically buff, and they can handle some more buff kind of games. So you got a lot of games like, I don't know, like Doom RPG or Wolfenstein or Resident Evil The Missions. What they did was they took a lot of assets from the games that they are based on and just compressed the hell out of them, took what they could, and put them into a game. There's no story mode here. It's just a sequence of 100 missions, all on a map, and you choose a path through on each playthrough. Keep all the inventory you made through the previous playthrough and just try to get better at it and beat all the missions. Which, it came out together pretty well. They did what they could. Again, a lot of the games I do speedruns for, you'll hear me say they did what they could a lot, and they did for this one. They managed to repurpose the controls pretty well. It's not tank controls, it's just straight up, left, right, down, which is great. Aiming is handled with a simple targeting reticule that expands and retracts, and whenever it is completely centered on the target, you will get a more powerful hit. You could also switch between center of gravity and headshots. And there's also, as you can see, a counter hit mechanic, where if an enemy is about to attack and you get a few hits on it, or a hit, you get more damage. And you'll have to use that to your advantage when you're facing the nemesis, as you see here, which are some of the harder sequences in the games. He's just a real tank, a real son of a gun. This is one of the easier ones, so we do the pathing basically to align with that, so we could take out the nemesis in a map that has a lot of room. You want to get as many counter hits as possible with the nemesis. You're just going to have to take a punch or two every time he attacks. It's fine. It's part of it. But we got through that. I added a bit of time. And, my mindset at the time was, let's keep going. As you can see, that's a mistake. This is a failed run. This is not the world record run. A lot of these missions are simple, like kill zombies with a limited amount of shots. Like this one is kill 3 zombies with 3 shots. And as you can see, I fuck it up. Mission failed. Other missions are simple as just going to a specific room or killing one very specific enemy, like the nemesis, so on and so forth. It repurposes its system and story and mechanics into a more quickly, easily digestible game. So we go ahead and we restart. This is an any percentage run, which means getting through the mission map as quickly as possible on a new game. So we start with the first mission, which is literally just kill this zombie as quickly as you can. Second mission, go to the storage area. So you start on the initial map, first floor, West Wing office, start heading in. Zombies, you could really, if you're doing those missions, you could really just kind of push enemies aside as long as you're quick about it. Like if they're next to a door, I wouldn't even focus on killing them. Just try to push them out of the way and get to the door as quick as you can. You get missions like this. You have to like defend your post or kill as many enemies as possible. And they want you to just expend all your ammo, killing them and seeing how many you could get at a time. But you could get around that by just shooting and expending your entire clip, and the mission's over. You get a bad grade on it, but it's over. It's over quickly. This is a mission where you have to kill an enemy with one shot, and it's a good example of the counter hit mechanic. You really just want to focus center of gravity, wait for the zombie to get right in front of you and lift up its foot, fire a shot, and that should do it. You get a counter hit for that because he's in the process of trying to kill you. And you take him out in one hit. Everybody wins. Now, see here, we get hunters thrown in the mix. They are extremely annoying because they're big and they just take up a shitload of space on the screen. So it's hard to really just kind of power through and walk around them. Oh, yeah. Really got to kind of improv throughout the run because they will spawn at random locations. You can handle it. This is another defend your post where you have to kill everybody as quickly as possible. There's no ammo limit, so go at it. This is the pathing done by a previous runner of the game, the previous world record holder, the good Jake Word, who really just put all the work in on mapping out this run, making sure there's a large amount of data there to go through and train with. He made a whole spreadsheet, the entire map, the items you get in them, and everything. It's a real blessing that someone was very dedicated to archiving this specific game for people that want to run it in the future. So, hey, props. Props to the good Jake Word. As you can see, this is the infamous Nemesis level, and I got really lucky there because he misses a few of its punches. And when he misses the punch, you just keep shooting. You keep shooting, and you get more and more counter hits. And the way you want to face the Nemesis is you kind of want to just run in a square, and you want to make sure that there's a clear path between you and the Nemesis whenever you stop to shoot. Because if he has to like turn or angle himself differently to get to you, he will run out of your line of sight, and you will miss the shot. So this is also a pretty difficult one. You want to kill 3 zombies with 3 shots as quickly as possible. You're probably going to have to take a hit by the 3rd zombie. I found that's the best way to do it. So this is the final mission of the run. Like I said, man, bang, bang, in and out. Most of the final missions in these games have the same layout. The objective is to get all the way to the end of the map of the game, which is the STARS office. The hallway behind it is blocked, so that's really as far as you could go. You want to grab a key or a vaccine or a document or something. It always changes. And then there's an obstacle blocking you on the way back. In this one, it's the Nemesis. He will chase you all the way to the end of the map. Other ones, it's just a bunch of zombies or a bunch of hunters or a time limit or something. And this is an interesting little game. Like, I didn't know it existed at all. I would have loved to have this on flip phones back in the day. I was able to get this running using the J2ME emulator on a old Android phone I found. Used a app I found on GitHub to put it on my monitor and link a controller, and there we go. And you want to go through that final set of doors, and buddy, you have reached the end of the game, and that's when the run ends, right there. My timer goes a little bit longer, but the run ends as soon as you get to the door. The final time for that run, when I retimed it, is 4 minutes and 20.69 seconds. So the final timer on the split is 4:20.69. I really got really happy about that one. Anyway, that's the run, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and take care.